I want to talk about something. So there's been a lot of talk lately about a certain TV show and how it might have ended wrong or poorly. I'm going to keep my biases on the ending aside for now, and instead today we are going to be looking into the conformity gate theory, which is a theory that apparently episode 9 exists and is a thing and is coming out, what's today, the 6th? Tomorrow we will know the answer, so there's a strong chance this video might just be a whole bunch of bullshit. Alright, so the first thing that I want to talk about is this girl, Tracy, no, that Vicky. Her name's Vicky. This is Robin's girlfriend in Stranger Things, allegedly. There's a really funny thing with her where they just didn't show her. She was not in the finale, and I have no clue why. It was very strange. So the other thing that video mentioned was Vecna's clock. Vecna's clock did appear. Maybe? I don't know. I didn't really hear it well in that video, and I'm honestly too tired to go check Netflix and see if it actually is in the scene. So I'm gonna take his word for it, and I added it to the board. Why? Because who does this clock belong to? That's the wrong picture. Who does this clock belong to? None other than the man himself, Henry. I don't know, his Krill, Victor Krill's son, aka number 1, aka Vecna. Now here's the thing. Vecna's known to mess with people's minds, right? That's kind of like his whole thing. That's all he's known for. A weird thing that happened in the show was when they were messing with the amps and the
squawk.
Why are they two different colors? That's a strange continuity error, right? Unless it's really just them messing with it. But I've also seen this theory since Volume 1 came out and they showed that, so I don't really know. Anyway, back to Vecna. If you remember at the graduation, everyone's sitting there like this, like the way that Henry does. I found that very odd. I don't know why that was like that, but here we are. The other thing that happened with this was that this board right here, this was blank, and I don't know why it was blank, unless they just forgot to write something on it, which would be really bad production. Duffer Brothers. Now here's the thing with the Duffer Brothers. In any interview that they've done recently, where I think someone asked them, where is there going to be an episode 9? They were like, oh, no. But here's the thing about that. The way they answered those questions reminded me a lot of how Tim Robinson acts in his bits and silliness. So maybe there is. I don't know. We'll see. Oh yeah, the dice. Okay, so on the dice there is it's not in this picture, but there is a 7, like a D&D, a D20 that is rolled to 7. And if you remember from episode 1, there's a dice that says 7 on it. Or wait, no, that is what Will rolled in the very first episode, right before he got taken when they're playing D&D in the basement. That's what he rolled, and he was honest with Mike about it, and then right after that, he got taken by a Demogorgon, aka Vecna. So the other thing that people were talking about online was the exit sign. Here's the thing with the exit sign, as we have just found out. It's mandatory for every bar to have an exit sign in their thing, so I don't really know why people are trying to get it connected with the Truman Show. I couldn't tell you. That one doesn't really make any sense to me. This is where things get really interesting. This is really interesting. This is 11. This is what she looked like this season. A couple years ago, she did an interview where where she ate a carrot and said the dirtier the better, and a bunch of people made fun of her online because she said they looked like Wallace and Gromit. This is just really funny. The other thing that is very, very important to remember is their haircuts and what they look like. These are the Wheelers. This was their haircuts at the end. I don't know if you know, but their hair looks a lot like Henry's. Why? I don't know. Couldn't tell you. Maybe it was. Maybe this is all happening inside Vecna's mind. Maybe this is Vecna's purgatory, is seeing all these people going on with their lives, completely forgetting about him. That's actually not a bad theory. I don't really know where that came from. The other thing was at the end of the show, whenever he puts their D&D books, there's a thing here that says X a lie. XLI, that sounds familiar, right? Doesn't that sound really familiar? I'm so glad you asked, because that, to me, sounds a lot like Ixalan, the Magic the Gathering set from no, I don't know when it came out, but XLI sounds a lot like Ixalan. So there's that. But the rabbit hole gets even crazier. Rabbit hole gets even crazier. There is a set in Magic the Gathering called Adventures in a Forgotten Realm. It is the D&D set. Yeah? You tracking? You tracking? Do you know who else is magic in this show? You know who else is magic in this show? 11. So maybe this whole thing was just a Magic the Gathering campaign. This was them advertising that 11's going to be in the next set of Stranger Things. Wait, isn't there already a D&D set for Stranger Things? Yes, there is. Hold on. Your maximum hand size is a lot. That's actually kind of cool. Whenever she attacks, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. Then if you have 11 or more cards in your hand, you may cast an instant or sorcery spell with your hand without paying its mana cost. That's actually like kind of an insane card. Yeah, I'll add it to the board. I don't know how accurate that is, but I added it because that seems very accurate. So the last thing that I have on this board, when you go to Netflix and you type in Conformity Gate, this is what pops up. This is it. This is it right here. I don't know why it does that, but it does. And that is also the same thing for when you type in fake ending. So maybe there actually is another ending. I don't know. This is the most damning piece of evidence right here, besides the Magic the Gathering stuff, I think. Wait a minute. I think I got it. What if all of this? Surely not. It's a perfect fit. What if this just confirms that Will is gay? This is a game changer. Wow. I think we did it. I think we solved the conformity gate today. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else we need to talk about. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.